Hey guys, welcome to Marketing 360 here. Today I have Jessica Holland on. She is sitting in Hawaii right now, actually, which is exciting. She is a director of sales on our team and really is just a great leader, has really done an amazing job working with her team and other business leaders, and just is very knowledgeable in general when it comes to leadership, does conferences, everything in between. So wanted to pull her on today just to talk about leadership, because as business owners, we're always trying to be better leaders, right? Every day for our team and everywhere in between. And I think at the key of it all, it's about leading yourself well. And Jessica has a lot of knowledge around that, just leading yourself, self-discipline and whatnot. And so I wanted her to share her tips around that and some of the advice that she has with regards to leading yourself. So Jessica?
Hi guys, thanks, or should I say aloha now? I've been here for a couple months thanks to our amazing company. Yeah, I'm super passionate about this topic. I'm writing a book on it currently, and I feel like as leaders, we are this just different breed. Like we tend to only think about everybody else and put ourselves last. And my girl Rachel Hollis says it the best. If you imagine this cup, we fill it up with like joy and inspiration, and we're watching the videos and we're reading the books, and then we like dump it out to everyone around us because we're lovers and we care. But what happens if you pour water in that cup and you just keep it up, right? It starts to overflow and you are just on fire because you're full and you're complete and you have so much to give to everybody else, and you go to sleep at the same times and you wake up rested and you're ready to do it all over again because you're not draining yourself, pouring everything you have and everything else. And I talk to a lot of business owners about this. And when I ask them, when you think of the word leadership, like what image pops up in your mind? You think of your team, you think of yourself pulling them up this mountain, and we rarely see ourselves. And I don't think a lot of you have time to pour into yourself, or I don't think a lot of you make time to pour into yourself. And so I want to give some like tangible things that I do to just like keep my cup full and like crush life after I get off work, have the energy to go have fun and like lead my family and lead myself. And it all stems from like where your mindset is in the morning. When you wake up, what's the first thing you see? Have you established a routine where it becomes muscle memory and you're not using so much energy to get up and get ready, but it's more like you have your water, you have your coffee, you read the book, and then you're fueled for a little bit. And then you go on your lunch and you read the book and you go listen to your podcast and you go on the run, and then you're fueled again for your team. So I'm consistently fueling myself throughout the day with little pieces of like gas. So that's like the first thing I would say. What about you? Like, what are some of the things that you do specifically?
Mornings are key for me too, absolutely. And I think, what I always say for breaking your day up or doing things even outside of the normal daily process is scheduling happiness. You have to schedule happiness, literally. Like if you don't schedule happiness, then sometimes you just don't get to it. And so what are the things that you enjoy doing that give you happiness? For me, it's like working out. It's spending time with my wife. It's doing like a date night. It's doing, the little things like that. It doesn't have to be a huge trip. It doesn't have to be those things. Those things are nice, but how are you scheduling happiness in your day, I think is important. And that gives you a little mental break, because to me, it's like I wouldn't go and work out the same muscle for like 4 hours in a row. That wouldn't make any sense. I'm going to like do that a little bit, take a break, and then 2 days later work that out again. And so we can't work our brain out 24/7 either. Like, so you have to push it hard and then take a little bit of a break and recharge. And that to me that's scheduling happiness. And I think starting the day, to your point, is just the discipline of just going. Like you're not going to feel like doing it every day. You'd be like a superhero if that was the case. And so, but the thing is you can control starting. Just start, just get going. And so that's me. I'm just disciplined. I just start doing it. I don't even think about it. I just start doing it. And then you build momentum at that point.
Oh, that brings up a really good point. And I love that you said that. I schedule laughter before I log off of work. Like that is the best way to end my day. And I do it with teams, and it doesn't make all the lows of your day so low when you leave your day and you log off your computer and you're laughing. That's the last thing your subconscious remembers when you had a work day, is like this funny video that you watched or your favorite skit or something funny someone said in chat. And so I schedule laughter at the end of my day. But I think it's really important. You said I plan this out. It's like having a fire hose to the face of information and all of these different things you can do. So business owners, you're watching, you're like, okay, yes, make a plan, do the routine, we hear it all, but you have to do it, the execution piece. And I think that with all the information that you get, pick one place to start. One of the things that I have found is, yes, like let's make a plan, but like you can't tackle everything at once and expect yourself to not be exhausted. And so I say, like, you write down what you want to accomplish and you write down, okay, how do I start leading myself? You just write and write and write, put a timer on for 5 minutes. What are all the things I can do? Pick one, master it, and then pick the next one, master it. And it starts becoming muscle memory. It's just easy. You've built this into who you are as a person, and you just are so fulfilled after all of this. And every time you're accomplishing these little tasks, you get a hit of dopamine. And that makes you want to do it again and again and again. If you go in and you're like, all right, tomorrow, I'm gonna be the best leader. I'm gonna lead myself. I'm getting up at 4 a.m. I'm having two cups of water, then a cup of coffee, then I'm gonna read a book, and I'm gonna work out. And you're not doing any of that today, you're setting yourself up for failure. And you're setting your teams up for failure because you will be drained. And so you pick one thing, you're like, all right, I'm gonna have a cup of water in the morning. You do it for 5 days. Push yourself to do it for 10 days, no matter how small it seems. Then you add on the next thing. It really helps you get in this routine of feeling energized. And the other thing I would say, JB, you talk a lot about burnout. Having one thing that you can schedule that is outside of work, that is for yourself, not for your family, not for renovations, not for anybody but you. Something a thrill. I like to call it my monthly date thrill. I take myself on something fun, a fun date. What are some of the things that you do? I know you do a lot of fun stuff out there in Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, geez, I like boating and biking, mountain biking, playing, I still try to play flag football every now and again. But I even, I think it's good too. Like I enjoy date nights. Like my favorite thing during the week is like every Thursday night, my wife and I will go out for date night. And that's like my funnest thing of the week, so that's to me like a good break. But I would say that it changes. So that's kind of the things I do. But I also wanted to hit on, you'd mentioned pick something and do it and just start small. So one example for that, I just wanted to share that I actually just started doing here months ago at this point, but I started doing push-ups in the morning. I was like, I want to do 100 push-ups in a row without stopping, And so I thought, I'm just going to start easy. I'm just going to do one. And so I literally woke up and did one push-up. And then I did that for a week. And then I did 2 push-ups for 7 days. And then 3 push-ups for 7 days. And so now I'm up to 65. And 65 literally feels as hard as it felt when I was at 20, but you just keep leveling up. And I think a lot of us, when we start something new, we almost overdo it. Like I could have started and been like, I'm going to try to do as many push-ups as I can every morning. And I would have maybe got to like 30 and been hurting pretty bad. And then pretty quickly I'd be like, okay, I don't really feel like doing that anymore. But since it was so easy, it's like you almost can't not do it. It literally takes 1 second to do 1 push-up. So if I skip that, like that's a major problem, So I did that for 7 days and then did 2 and just built up from there. So I think that's an example of pick something, but you don't have to start all out. Just start small.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so good. Hell yeah, by the way. My sister, she's a triathlete and she was training for this Ironman last year. I was like, all right, what's your training program? She's like, well, I start with 200 sit-ups in the morning. I was like, okay, like I'm gonna go do 200 sit-ups in the morning. It literally lasted a month. And
Yeah.
we're talking about all of this. I think it's really important for me to tell you guys, like, you have to have a why for you. Like, you might be pumped up, like hearing like, okay, routines, like start small. Like I can do that. Like I can do little push-ups in the morning. Why? Why do you want it? There's a reason above and beyond just like feeling motivated a little bit for your team that you want to be greater than you are right now. And I think it's important that you do take time. So tangibly, I would ask for you guys to take 5 minutes to write down your whys. Like, what are you going after? I highly recommend one of JB's last videos on clarity. Get clear on what you want and you have the reasons why you want to do it. Doing these small things in the morning will be no-brainer, easy options. So I think having that why for you is important and tailoring it to you, because I'm not a triathlete. My sister is. So my why wasn't strong enough to go in and do 200 sit-ups in the morning until I started training for my marathon. And I had put together my own training program, and that looked completely different, but I did it every single day because it was for me, not for my sister. So just really wanted to make sure I put that out there.
I love it.
Yes.
Really good. So when you're leading a team, leading yourself, there's so many different things. When I think about that, I think about leading by example. And to lead by example, you have to lead yourself. And so what's your attitude like? Like, how are you responding to things? Are you always assuming positive intent? What's your effort level like? Are you on time, right? Or are you a little bit late? Like, all these things are like the small details of leading yourself well. And if you literally just do that, your team will follow you. It's like, you don't need to say anything, I mean, it just naturally happens. And so just some thoughts, as we're kind of talking through this, that business owners, I think, can maybe take back to the fort too. And I think the other thing is also talking to the leaders on your team about this. How are you leading yourself and others following? Because ultimately, how you communicate with customers, how you enter a call, leave a call, how you talk when you get off of the phone about the call to your teammates, these are all things that you could probably do better about leading yourself, and therefore your team will do better about doing those things.
Oh my God. Yes, I am like fired up about that topic because, especially new leaders, like new CEOs, new owners, like you get into this position and you expect your teams to have this like $1 million work ethic. And you're like, I'm going to coast. I've worked so hard to get here. No, you level up. And you get your hands dirty. When's the last time you got your hands dirty? Like, you're practicing with them, you're doing what they're doing. And when you set your standards to be on their level, like, and then you push yourself even higher and you're coming in earlier than them, you're the last one there, you're constantly thinking of new ideas of how to get better for their role, and you're just pouring into them because you have the energy to do all this, your teams just explode. You have insane team buy-in, and they respect the heck out of you because you're doing it with them. So when you ask them to do something, they just get in line because they have the buy-in and respect for you. So I love that, and I think it's so important. In addition to that, it's so important that we allow our teams to proactively get after preventing burnout. And as leaders, we tend to put ourselves last. And you have to lead by example and like giving yourself some time off, or like you always say, schedule something. You have something to look forward to, it's so important. And I don't know where society kind of built this mindset around like you are a bad employee if you take time off for yourself. It is one of the best gifts you can give to yourself as a leader. And your team sees you doing that, they're not going to feel guilty for having strep throat. Like, my texts we get where it's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I have strep throat and I can't come in. Well, it's okay. Like, take time. Like, you want to go on a vacation with your family? Do it. I'm going next month. Like, you lead by example in both areas, and you create this really healthy balance of like leading and going 100% in when you're at work and leading your life. Like, you lead your life, your team's going to lead their life. They're coming in field. You're coming in field. You guys are unstoppable. Whew, getting passionate. Sorry. Yes.
100%. Two things come to mind as you're saying those things. And number one, about leading by example, just a quote that I wanted to share. And I can't remember where, I think it was St. Francis or something that said it, but it was, preach the gospel every day of your life. And when absolutely necessary, also use words. And I think that's really powerful because it's like, be a leader every day of your life. And when absolutely necessary, use words. That means it's just in your actions, right? The things that you're doing, like, people will naturally follow you. You don't necessarily have to say anything. And then the other thing I'm thinking is, I'm coaching my son's football team, and, you're saying like, and I say this too, like, have something scheduled that you can look forward to. And so when we run, they're getting super tired doing conditioning. But as soon as you say, okay, this is the last one, they run really fast. And it's because they know there's light at the end of the tunnel. They know there's a break coming. And so if you're endlessly not having anything scheduled, you're always in that state of, I don't know when this is going to end. And so you're just feeling tired and you're running half speed. But if you just knew there was a break coming, you would run full speed. And don't we all want to run faster, you know? And so it's just a matter of having that happiness scheduled, so you know where those checkpoints are, and you're not living in this endless state of conditioning where you can't go full speed. So just a couple thoughts.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, I mean, we've really talked about this so far from top down, where it's like you pour into yourself, you create small, achievable goals for yourself, and your team uplifts. You lead by example, and you take breaks, and you have this mindset. And what you said about, like when you say this is the last run, people go harder. That's how you should be on your Fridays. Friday mindset should be like your hardest days. And I think we need to switch our mindset on that. Like, these are the days where we're like, all right, it's Friday, gonna celebrate. Like, those are the days you go the hardest. And because you know you have this like light at the end of the tunnel if you don't have that paid time off. So as a leader, I would say, like, to end the week, like, that's the day that you lead by example the hardest, and you will see a big difference. You know, I think you made a really good point there. And the last thing I would just say that I really wanted to bring today was just reflection, you know, daily reflection, midday reflection. I don't think we take a lot of time to remember who we are. And I had something really crazy happen to me 2 weeks ago. As you know, I just moved to Hawaii. Everything's packed in my boxes. And my first grade yearbook was just on my nightstand. I haven't seen this in literally years. And I was like, what? Sagebrush Elementary, let's go. And so I like pull it up and I like open it and just like looking at this little girl, like my face, you know, I'm like, oh my God, like, am I making her proud? Am I leading myself how I would want, how I envision myself? You know, when you're small and you're young and you see yourself like being a doctor or teacher, like, am I acting as who I am? And I think it's so important to remember who you are. And like, you do a reflection in the middle of your day and you do a reflection at the end of your day. Like, am I acting as myself? Am I doing the things I said I was going to do? Like, you got to hold yourself accountable, and you got to make that younger version of you proud. And I think that's made the biggest difference in even just the last couple months. Like, when that showed up on my nightstand, I was like, okay, I see you. Like, I need to level up for me. And like, I highly recommend you go look at those yearbook pictures of yourself when you were younger, and you look at yourself and you say, am I making you proud? You'll tell yourself.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. I mean, there's an old person inside all of us that's counting on us to make them proud, right? Every day. And so what are we doing, you know, to do that? And, you know, you can even say there's a version of ourselves on Friday afternoon that wants to have that Corona and lime and be proud when they have it of the work they put in for the week, right? Because it's not that enjoyable if you know you left some chips on the table ultimately. So I say, like, if you're going to do something, give it your all, right? Otherwise, don't go. If you're going to go work out hard, or just why even go work out, you know? And it's just a matter of just giving it your all, and you'll ultimately be proud of it. But you can't give it your all for an endless amount of time. So that's why it's important to like break up your day and make sure that you can give it your all and you enjoy doing it.
Ah, so good. That's so good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for all the tips today. I really appreciate it. It's awesome information, and hopefully, you know, inspires business leaders out there right now, and individual leaders on your team. So if you guys like the video, like it, share it with your friends, leave us some comments if you have additional tips, maybe things that we missed, and follow us for more content like this down the road. Happy marketing. Thanks, Jess.
Thanks, guys. Bye.